Okay, so we'll start on the clock. Essentially, these sessions are meant to be super tiny, like 10 minutes max, where we kind of take you through the basics of an important aspect of the business. It's not necessarily related to Classcard. We want to see how what we kind of discuss out here is helpful to your business in general. And the first topic that we're going ahead with is designing posters. So in general, we've noticed that a lot of us have to send out visual content, either online or offline, to promote our classes. And there are a few evident mistakes that we make while we are creating these posters. Like I said, this will be super tightly knit. It will be like exactly 10 minutes, and then we'll have time for questions and answers. If you have questions during this 10 minutes as well, no problem. Just feel free to stop me and we can take on those questions. Right. So we have we've had a decent turnout for our first micro session. So thank you for taking out your 10 minutes and joining us for this. We'll just get started. Okay, so we'll just start with some fundamentals. The first thing that I want to touch upon is using images. So a large part of your poster designing or any other visual cues that we're putting outside is choosing an image. Now, a common mistake that we see is that we don't use royalty-free images, which can be painful later on when people do try to sue us. So let's not do that. So we have laid down some examples of unsplashing pexels where you can download and use royalty-free images. We'll go through that in the live demo, but the best option you have is always going to be any original images that you can use, right? Few things that we've noticed that dramatically improve click-through rates is using human elements. So if you have a picture of a student or the activity in progress, using human elements is definitely a big win through. We've actually done some stats out here. So we've compared booking pages where human elements were not used with booking pages where human elements were used, and the difference in the click-through rates are quite a dramatic 20%. So if you use humans in your pictures, you're likely to see more bookings happening. Another good thing is to include logo for branding on all the images. We do recommend doing this very subtly and not something very large and just supersizing the whole meaning of the event. Safe space for corners. This is an important one, so I'll touch upon this in a little more detail. Essentially, what happens is no poster, especially for screens, is 100%. No dimension is 100% perfect for all screens. So what would be helpful is you focus on a slight padding area. So if you have your content, it's has some spacing on the side. So even if we kind of look at it on different screens, nothing is kind of lost in translation, right? Like if you're looking at on a mobile screen, you don't want some of your text that's on the image to get cut off, right? So that's a very important thing to kind of keep in mind. So I've kept elaborated on all this. Yeah, one second. We'll just go back. Yeah, we'll just go through the text now. Regarding text, using text on your images, less is actually more. So using only one font is recommended, and using only one font color is recommended. Emojis have been performing extremely well. So if you want to use any text on your images, try and complement that with emojis. And again, just make sure you're keeping a safe space for the corners while using text as well. So those are just the basic fundamentals that I would like to touch upon. The next thing is we'll give you 3 live demos. One is using Canva, one is using Figma, and a very exciting one called Midjourney, which is basically artificial intelligence to create your posters. So while I hovered onto Canva, so Canva is, I'm sure we've all have heard about Canva. It's super simple to kind of work with. Now, on your Classcard account, you will notice that when you do go to publish your classes, we do recommend you use a promo image and a banner image. Right? So the banner image is a new feature. So people on the new class creation will see a banner image. We've seen the banner image actually improve booking rates. So even though it's optional out here, we'd highly recommend you use a banner image. Now, how this works on Canva is you need to, let's just quickly move this. You need to mention your size. So if you notice that the size is 112 by 225, mention the same width and height out here and create a design. So essentially, think of this as your blank slate, right? Like your absolute base layer of your design. What would be recommended is we start off with an image, right? So, like I said, it's best to use royalty-free images. So you can use something like Pexels or Unsplash. These are royalty-free images, so you don't have to worry about people suing you for using these images. So I'm just going to click on Pottery. Right. So you'll notice that images with people are typically more impactful. While downloading, one other important cue to make sure is that you're not using a very heavy image. Heavy images slow down page load time, so you want to go with either medium or small. For this example, I'll use small. Right? And when we come back to our page, all we just need to do is look into our downloads and simply drag and drop it here. You can just stretch the corners out to fit the image the exact way you want it to fit. So this becomes now your base layer, right? And on top of this, we want to add some text. But before we add some text, another quick tip is to actually overlay the text, overlay the image with a box. Right? So now this box is going to completely hide the image, but what we want to do out here is add transparency to this. Why are we doing this? So that the text that we add on this is not hidden by the images. So the box out here makes sure that the text is actually not hidden by any of the images that we have. You can add a heading, so something like beginner classes. It might be helpful to add a logo as well. So I'm just going to pull out a random logo. Again, we just want to keep this subtle, not too loud. You could add some elements of design, so just like maybe add a underline for beginner. So in literally like no time we have a good like slow-mo image, and to download this is a simple share and click on download and download. So it will download this image and you can directly use it on your class. So let me just actually upload it from here. Similarly, we would also want to create the banner image. Now the banner image dimensions were slightly different. So let's just look at that. It's 786 by 320. 786 by 320, create new design. I would still want to keep the same family of thought in the design. So I'll just look at any wide image that would pretty much do the same job. Okay, let's just put this. Again, something like medium would be fine for the banner. You simply just drag and drop it in. When designing banner images, you might want to add a little more information. So the idea is if someone just looks at the image, they kind of understand exactly what's happening. So you could just pick up these copy the elements. Right. Now you'll notice that the color is not seen too well, so we would need to add the element that we discussed of this one. Another important thing that you'll see is something known as layers. So each element of a design belongs to a layer. So if you want to send backwards one step, you'll notice now the underline is visible as well. So it's important to understand that each design element is a part of a layer, and we'll add some transparency to make it visible. So if you see the lesser transparent, the more visible the text is. You can go in here. Yeah. And again, to just download this, you can download and download. Okay. So that's pretty much all we need to know about Canva. I'll also give you a quick demonstration how this works on Figma. Figma is a little bit more technical, but once you do get a hang of it, it's super simple. So essentially what we'll do is first create a frame. So you click on the almost this frame icon here. When you have the frame created, you can add the dimensions here and you have a frame out here. So don't worry about this. We'll be sharing templates with you which have exactly the same dimensions that we need. And just look at the desktop, downloads. Let's see. Yeah. So the good part about Figma is you can just drag and drop elements into the frame directly. If it's outside the frame, you can just 1 second and just put it back into the frame. Now, in the fill itself, you notice something known as the fill, which shows the image. You can click on the plus sign and it'll add an overlay of 20%. So you can obviously increase that to 60% to darken it, like you can see now, or you can keep it at like 40%. Just everything is pretty much the same. So if you want to add text, you click on the T icon here and add text like beginners. You can obviously change font sizes from here. Again, you'll notice that both Figma and Canva allows you to like just click things onto the center. So there'll be guides as and when you kind of drag things around. Similarly, with the mana image, you just want to click on the frame icon, position where you want it, 786 by 320, and you just drop an image right into it. And so it's all done. We'll add the opacity there. So we can increase it to 30, 40%, and then we can add some text right over here. So both are extremely simple. One additional benefit that Figma will give you is when you export these images, you have the option of selecting 2x. Now what 2x does is it exports it in double the size. So there's never any pixelation when people are looking at it from their phones or on the web. So just let's go back to this and let's click on replace. You'll notice this pixelates, but the one that we exported from Figma will not be pixelated. Similarly, we can go here and export this frame. We want it to be PNG, not JPEG. You can use PNG or JPEG. Make sure we use 2x to double the size. It just helps in a crisper image. Just So you have the image right out here and the details below. Obviously, it's a dummy event, so a lot of like dummy information, but essentially it's that quick and easy to create your images. I'll now hand over to Anuj to show how we can use AI, which is specifically Midjourney, to create these images very easily.
Yeah, thanks, Vinod. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and walk you guys through Midjourney. So Midjourney is nothing but an AI image creation tool. After the call, I'll share a quick video tutorial on how you can also sign up for Midjourney and how you can set up Midjourney to work. But while we're here, I'll just quickly show you how Midjourney works to create images. So once you have Midjourney installed, you just have to type in /imagine and you have to give the system a prompt. So I'll just take over from Suraj's example. I'm going to say a teacher teaching children how to uh, how to play pottery. And once you hit enter, Midjourney is going to take maybe about 35 seconds to a minute to generate an image. Okay, so once the system gives you the response, it will give you four options. You have you then further have an option to either directly upscale the image that you like, or else if you want more versions of a particular image. So let's say, for example, if we like the third image, I could click on V3, and it's now going to create four versions for this particular image. All right. So now that we have our versions, let's say we like the fourth version the best, I can click on View 4 to upscale the fourth image. And this is going to, of course, give me a much more clearer image. Alternatively, if I want to upscale it even further, I could upscale it further here. Or else, if I just like the image and I'd like to download it, I click on Web. And that takes me to the image to be able to download it. So from here, I can just right click and save image, right? Another thing to note is the more creative you get with your prompts, the easier or more accurate image you're going to get. So if you'd like to localize this, you could actually add in a country. So we could say, I'm just going to copy the prompt from above, and I'm going to say in Singapore, for example. And this is now going to, slightly localize it. So it's going to localize everything in terms of the background, the people, just to make it look more, closer to where you are. So, and as we went through earlier, adding in, a human element is always better for conversion rates. And obviously, this is going to help people to be able to, you know, feel more connected with the image. So I think that's about it on Midjourney. I'll be sharing a video with everyone on how you can sign up to Midjourney and set it up to start using it. Yeah, that's about it.
As we promised to keep this actually absolutely super short, this is essentially all in terms of working on the graphics. So just to quickly recap, be mindful of the images that you're using. So we would appreciate if you used high quality images, either from Pexels, Unsplash, or Midjourney, or best if you have any original images of your own classes. Text, try to use one single font, single color, and be uh, quite subtle with your logo so that anyone who's trying to reference your logo and understands your brand and it carries on with people. Um, and post this, we'll be sending across both templates for Figma and for Canva and a quick tutorial on how to use Midjourney inside the app as well. Just a quick word of caution, Midjourney is not really cost you $10 for using, but a month, but it's something that could actually be helpful in the larger scheme of things. Um, as we are running a few minutes into the Q&A, so we can start with any question or answers. If anyone has any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask, and then we'll be more than happy to answer it if we can. All right, I think that should be all. We'll be sending across this recording along with the presentation and resources. So thank you so much for joining into our first micro session. We'll be doing a few more of these as we kind of go along into the new year. So wishing everyone a very happy new year and a very successful 2024. And I hope you had a great Christmas. Thanks everyone for joining. It's been a pleasure.